So I'm making this video because I've had enough conversations with founders and business owners who have had an experience in the past working with a lead generation agency, probably somebody who contacted them through cold email. They decided to work with them and they didn't get the results that they were looking for. Sometimes they were just flat out scammed. Other times they'll say things like, oh yeah, I like the guy. They had good intentions. They were really nice. They really tried, but they didn't get the results that they said they were going to get. And at the end of the day, this is a business. So you want to make sure that anyone that you invest your time in and your money in actually provides the results that you're looking for them to provide whenever you decide to work with them. Otherwise, you wouldn't work with them, right? Now, to be honest, you're never going to have 100% certainty of whether or not somebody's going to get you the results that you're looking for. Sometimes you're going to work with a very good company, but for some reason it just doesn't work out. And those situations are inevitable. But in this video, I'm going to talk about 4 different ways that you can look out for red flags in a lead generation agency that would probably indicate that they are not going to deliver the results that they're saying they're going to deliver, so that you can save yourself time, money, and a headache of working with somebody who is probably never going to get you the results that they said they would. Now, here's something that's really important to bring up. Cold email at scale works, okay? It's a marketing channel. Just like paid ads is a marketing channel, SEO is a marketing channel, referrals and networking, everything works. But that doesn't mean that it works 100% of the time. And it doesn't mean that 100% of the people who offer these services are going to get you the result. So the reason I say this is that I've heard a lot of times people being very jaded to cold email at scale because they'll say things like, we've already tried this in the past. We are doing this in-house. We already worked with somebody and didn't get the results that we were expecting. So therefore, cold email doesn't work, or it doesn't work for my industry, because in my industry, everything works in referrals. And in my industry, people are making money through paid ads. And I've never heard of anyone getting results in the cold email space, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, this isn't a video to try to convince you that cold email works. I just wanted to make sure I made that note, because just think that, for example, you watching this run a digital marketing agency. What if you were told by somebody that digital marketing doesn't work because they already tried it in-house and they didn't get any results from it? Or what if they said that it doesn't work because they went on Upwork and they hired the cheapest person on there and they didn't get the result that they were looking for? Now, how frustrating would it be for you to hear that person tell you that digital marketing just doesn't work overall? It's like a blanket statement for digital marketing as a whole because they had a bad experience and they didn't know how to vet agencies properly. So now they don't trust you, even though you have everything that would indicate that you are a good agency. So I'm just going to get right into the 4 things to look out for that would indicate that a lead generation agency is probably not going to be the best agency that you can work with. These 4 things you can identify either immediately from that initial pitch or just on the sales call that you're talking to them, right? So obviously, none of these are hard rules, but the first thing is just this unrealistic guarantee. Too good to be true, probably is, right? This one's pretty obvious. At this point, everybody's gotten enough emails from somebody saying that they can make them $1 million in 90 days, or they can triple their leads in 60 days, or whatever the case may be, and these exorbitant offers that people are putting out there. So if somebody is opening their initial conversations with you with these results that are these out of the world expectations, it's like somebody telling you that if you invest money with their portfolio, you're going to get 100% returns when the S&P 500 is doing 8%, right? You know that it is very unrealistic. It's probably not going to work. Maybe they have the best intentions to get you the best results possible, but in reality, those numbers that they're probably referencing might, at the best case scenario, might be something that happened in one of their outlier results once upon a time, maybe 3 years ago, when everything lined up perfectly and they got this insane result for a company that already had an amazing offer, and they just kind of plugged it into their system and they just got, this crazy result. And now they're telling you that they can do the same thing for you with none of the other variables that create the same context being true. So that's the best case scenario with that. Truthfully though, it's probably just somebody who heard on some kind of online marketing space that if you're able to give somebody a dream outcome that is a no-brainer offer, then they are probably going to be stupid to say no to you. So if you just say that you can get them the best result and it's guaranteed, or they'll buy you and your team a cup of coffee for the week or something, then you are going to get a ton of business. And then maybe you don't get them $1 million, but they'll be happy if you make them something, right? Anyway, you know to look out for this already. Also, if you're a lead generation agency and you're doing this, you're really just shooting yourself in the foot, because the only people who are going to believe this are people who are going to be desperate enough to just convince themselves that what you're saying just might be true, because they need this to be true so bad because their business is starting to flounder. They absolutely need the pipeline. So even though everything is telling them that there's no way that you can make them $3 million out of nothing, they're all out of choices. So they're going to be relying on you to save their business. Now, getting paid by people who are relying fully on you to save their business is going to be a very stressful situation. It's probably not going to get you the case studies that you're looking for. And then everybody ends up in a worse situation, because now you spent all of this energy trying to save somebody's business that has a bad offer, that there's a reason that they are relying on you because nothing else has worked. And they are going to be upset at you as well, because they gave you the last $1,000 that they had because you told them that you were going to get them this insane ROI. And obviously that just was never going to happen. So this is not a good situation for anybody. Unrealistic guarantees, you know to look out for them. You see them, they look too good to be true. They probably are, especially if you go to their website and it's just some random like VSL and like no social proof, no testimonial videos, no results that are evidence that they have actually done this in the past. Now, speaking of evidence, the second red flag to look out for is if an agency has no case studies or no testimonials. Of course, anybody can just make these up. So having something there isn't 100% indicative that they are somebody who has actually gotten good results in the past. So, this doesn't 100% protect you against scams, but it does protect you against people who are maybe just getting started and they don't have the experience to get you the results that they want to get you. And in this case, I'm not saying don't work with people who are inexperienced. You might actually find somebody who maybe they just took the right course. They learned what they need to do and they just need to apply it to your business to get the results. In those cases though, I would suggest only working with somebody if they are very upfront about why they don't have any evidence that they have done this in the past. Meaning they are just getting started and they are saying, hey, I am just getting started here. I don't have any case studies because I'm getting started. I am looking to get you good results because I want to start building my portfolio. And by working with you, maybe I can get you the good results that you're looking for. I'm going to make this the most risk-free situation for you because you're actually doing me a favor. And I'm really going to try really, really hard to get you that case study so that in the future, I can use this case for future prospecting and start charging people a little bit more money down the line, right? This is a situation that totally makes sense to me. Totally your call, of course, but it actually makes sense. What doesn't make sense is somebody who is positioning themselves as this authority figure and they have no evidence that they have actually done this in the past, and they're just really, really hoping that you don't bring it up on the sales call. So again, none of these things on their own are indicating that somebody's trying to scam you, but these are just red flags to look out for. Okay, so this next one is one that I fully believe in, and that is somebody's online presence. So if somebody has no online presence, like meaning they don't have a verified LinkedIn, or their website looks very, very, very primary, like something that they could have built out in one day, or they don't have anything on like Twitter or YouTube or just anything at all. I'm not saying somebody has to be an influencer. I'm just saying that if somebody goes through the trouble of creating a reputation and a personal brand around themselves, this is probably not a fly-by-night business of somebody who is just like, they saw some YouTube video about lead generation being a really quick business that you could put together in a week and then start pitching it to people and then start telling them that you can do these great results and you can pull these case studies from somewhere online and tell them that you did that. Obviously, if you have a reputation that you are actually building, then you are not going to risk that reputation so easily for somebody to just write some kind of LinkedIn post saying that that company is a scam. And then whenever you look them up, so like if somebody was like, hey, Axo Leads is a scam and don't work with them because they just say they're going to get you results and they actually just take your money and they never do anything for you. If somebody made a LinkedIn post that said that, that means that whenever a future prospect goes to Google and they look up Axo Leads, are they legit, Axo Lead scam, whatever the case may be, that LinkedIn post is going to come up. And they're going to see that and they're going to be like, of course, I'm not going to work with a company that somebody is going out of their way to call a scam online, right? But if I'm a fly-by-night business that has absolutely no online presence, that means that I haven't built this foundation, which means that if somebody goes and makes some hate posts about me, I can just close that business down, open up a new one, and you'll never find out that that one was about me. Right? So an online presence, again, not saying everybody has to be an influencer, not saying that just because somebody has an online presence, they're going to get you results, but be wary about somebody who the only evidence of their existence is that email and some landing page that they built out. Because if they aren't trying to scam you, there's just a really good chance that they are still somebody who didn't commit all the way to make this a whole business. They just are trying out lead generation and they are, did the minimum to have a viable business. And whenever shit hits the fan and things get difficult, they are probably going to just stop doing this business and go work on another new business that they heard about on TikTok or something that can actually get them results because now cold email is dead and blah, blah, blah. And they're going to blame the mechanism and they're going to blame the industry and they're going to blame seasonality and they're going to blame Outlook and Gmail and everything everywhere except for themselves for not trying to figure out how to solve these problems. So somebody who hasn't fully committed to this being a business that they are actually actively pursuing and they see themselves pursuing for the next foreseeable future is obviously somebody who isn't going to take the time to build that online reputation and authority and online presence. So, just something to look out for. Now, the final one, and this one is going to be something that you're probably not going to notice until you are on the sales call with them. And that is somebody who focuses on hype. So if somebody is talking about automation and how they're going to use AI to build this state-of-the-art, like brand new thing, it's all new. Like, the old way is dead. This is the new way. A lot of people really gravitate to that kind of marketing, that kind of sales tactics. And this isn't necessarily with ill intention, but it's just really hard to not get bored of the regular things that you have to do to have a business operate efficiently. And it's really easy to get excited about all of these new tools and softwares and automations that you can plug in to get these outsized results. And you see case studies about it and you're like, I'm going to try this out. So if somebody on the sales call is overly pitching kind of like their unique mechanisms, their unique AI approach, or whatever the case may be, that's a good sign that they are more excited about that kind of jargon stuff than they are about understanding your business, understanding the actual state of cold email and how they can make your offers stand apart from everything out there. They are more reliant on these tools to just kind of plug in your offer and, apply it to these tools and just really hope that they get the results that they are saying that they can get you based off of what somebody else who built the tool is saying that they can achieve for you. Basically, you become their guinea pigs. So I'm not saying that this is an indication that somebody is trying to take your money and never give you anything for it. But what I am saying is that this is a really good indication of somebody who doesn't have the patience that is required to master the skills that are necessary to actually make this work properly, which means that they are learning one tool, not seeing the result that they were expecting, getting discouraged, and then repeating that cycle by trying a totally new tool because this time it's going to work. It doesn't work. They get discouraged, and then they continuously do this and never really get the result that they were hoping to get, because it's much more fun and interesting to try new things than it is to actually sit down, figure out what that very, very basic element is that's going to change things, which has to do with offer, which has to do with understanding your marketplace and who you are targeting. Those are basic elements that have always been true when it comes to outreach. This isn't a cold email specific thing. This isn't a 2024 specific thing. This is something that is true now and will always continue to be true. If you have an offer that stands out and you are reaching out to the right people with that offer, you're going to get the results that nobody else is getting. That's all there is to this. So if instead you want to identify an agency that you are probably going to have a good experience with, then you probably want to work with an agency that focuses on those basic things, that focuses on understanding your business, understanding your target audience's pain points, and focuses on testing different things to figure out what pain points are going to resonate with what specific segments of that audience, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. This is the boring stuff that actually gets you the results with not just cold email, but with any marketing channel. Cold email just has its unique benefits, and everybody can talk to you about those, but you really want to work with somebody who is willing to put in that extra effort to understand your business. Now, another thing, obviously, to look out for is if somebody has evidence of success. So if they do have case studies and they do have testimonials, and you can make sure that those are actually true. Obviously a video testimonial of them talking to one of their clients and that client saying their name and blah, blah, blah. And you can look them up and it's a real client. All of that is, pretty good indicator that this is an agency that's actually gotten results. Another thing is, of course, whenever we talked about these too good to be true offers, instead of that, it's realistic offers, right? So you understand probably what is possible out there, and you also understand what's impossible. So I know it's not exciting to respond to an email saying that they are going to get you results that you kind of already know that you can get, but it's much more important that the company is actually going to achieve what is achievable and not just promise you what's unachievable. And then finally, I would say that the last thing you might want to look out for, and this might be a little bit biased because this is the approach that we take, is an agency that takes a consultative, is that word, approach to diagnosing what they can do for you. So understanding your pain points, understanding what you've tried in the past, understanding your offer, and really probably pushing you to generate a unique offer or to try different offers. There's this stigma of done for you services like these marketing agencies, where agencies are taught to do as much as they possibly can for their client. But in reality, it's this collaborative approach that actually yields the best results in my experience. The clients that I've worked with that are willing to do more work upfront to provide more value for their clients or their prospects are the ones who we achieved the best results for. So if you are willing to collaborate with the agency to figure out what's going to work best, this is probably going to be the greatest lever of success whenever you are outsourcing this. Now, you can expect the agency to have the expertise that they need to be able to send out emails and they don't land in spam and they are optimized for people to actually read them and for people to actually take action on them. But what they actually say and what they actually offer depends on you to be able to collaborate to come up with the things that are going to get responses. So I guess a final bonus reason that somebody may not be a good agency is if somebody just promises that you're never going to have to lift a finger and you're going to get these outsized results, because cold email doesn't work like inbound marketing. You actually have to create demand because somebody didn't wake up that morning hoping that you were going to email them and hoping to buy your service. There is so much more to talk about offer creation and everything. So I am making a video about how to create an offer in a saturated market. And that kind of gets into a whole lot more detail about what I'm talking about here, about how you can actually get results with cold email. I think the best next thing for you to do now is to go watch that other video on offers so that you can get a really good understanding of what does actually work using cold email, so that you can have good context, so that whenever you go and meet with these agencies, you can kind of have an understanding of what the most important thing is. And if they are completely focusing on something totally different, then that's probably not going to be the agency for you. So go watch that video. I'll see you there.